business, real estate business. I get my whole face on the screen.
Your face is on the screen.
Saying go live. Hold on, saying go live. Hold on, just trying to
No, you
go
just
live.
left.
Hold on. I'm back, but I need to get this off my screen. Anybody watching? We didn't say we was tech savvy. We just know real estate. Hold on. Anybody watching? We didn't say we was tech savvy. We just know real estate. Anybody watching? Sean Reese sent that to me. Good evening, good evening, good evening, family. We gonna kick it tonight. The call is obviously always real estate wholesale business. We've been getting a lot of inquiry, a lot of people asking us to run these calls, so we're gonna be coming at you consistently. But you really gotta make sure and leave comments if you can, because it's two types of groups we're talking to in this business. It's those of you who are entry level and who have heard about the wholesaling business, and then it's those who are actually in the wholesaling business, and maybe you've done a deal or had a deal on the cuff, or been having a hard time getting your first deal done. So obviously, me and Sean being in the real estate business well over 10 years, in the wholesaling business right over 5. And myself going on my first year in the wholesaling business, and we've been consistent. Like, this is what we do. We wholesale real estate. So it's not just about getting the wholesale real estate, but it's the running the business, the automations, the systems, but most importantly, the two things we're really going to drill away and talk to people with y'all about tonight. And that's first and foremost, getting inventory, getting deals. Like, the deals make the money, so we're going to cover all of the ways you should be learning and researching and ways to get the secure deals in this business. And then also we're going to talk about the power of network and community, which top tips is a network and community. And everybody in our network, we're able to make money with each other. Like, they bring deals, we bring buyers. We bring deals, they bring buyers. They're struggling with a deal, they need assistance on how to walk through a deal. We're walking through it together. They're struggling with any part of the business, with a hump. We're walking through it with them together, sharing all our resources and getting that result, right? So, I'm echoing something.
Yeah, it's probably no. I think I fixed it. Tell me if it's still echoing.
Yes, it is. Oh, here we go. I got you. All right, cool. We getting an echo out there? Thumbs up. Let's go. All right, cool. But just getting back to the network, like, that's the biggest thing. It's being in the network in the community, because now you hands on, and anybody who invests in us shows participation, shows that they're serious about the business, they're hungry, they want to run the business, they want to make money, they want to be in real estate. We're extremely serious, and the opportunity is here for that. But you gotta show that. You gotta invest in the game. Get in the game, and it really, you're on the call right now, even if it's not a financial investment to start. You get somewhere where you can actually afford this type of investment for this type of return. But it's an investment in participation. You know what I'm saying? Asking questions. Like, we say, hey, which is one of the ways that I'm gonna open it up with Sean and we'll go some things. But we're here to talk about how to find the deals to make money from. If we told you guys right now to tap into your friends, family, relatives, co-workers in order to secure deals, like, you got all these people around, you got properties for sale, but you can't take advantage of them. Sean, 1 second.
Yeah, I know we're echoing. It's probably because we're running from two different audio sources. So let's see. If I mute audio here.
Is it an echo? Cool. So yes, get in the game, get in the network. You know what I'm saying? Make yourself available for opportunity to make money in wholesale and real estate first and foremost, right? So I'm gonna put this out before we kick it off, and me and Sean just get to kicking it about how we're going about marketing, our favorite ways to find deals, how we're improving in our strategies to increase revenue for ourselves as individuals, for our business, our company, and how you guys can take the same information and be on your path to making your first 10K in the next 30 days if you're serious. And we also added over there in the comment section, if you're watching this, if you catch this, download the top tier solutions ultimate roadmap to wholesaling checklist. It pretty much has all of the information on wholesaling A to Z broken down into a easy to understand format, right? Which is a start there. So make sure you get that free checklist if you're someone that's serious. If you're someone that's not taking action, then you shouldn't even be looking at wholesaling because this is a hustler sport. You're gonna have to work. You eat what you kill, right? So Sean, with that being said, just for the people tonight, I just really want to talk the hustle. I just want to talk the business. I want to talk, what's your mentality when it comes to, finding, securing deals, when it comes to your mark, like how much money you want to make a month, how much money you want to make a week, setting 90-day goals, quarterly goals with wholesaling, setting yearly goals. Like, how do you approach just finding and securing deals? And what's your motivation from a goal and targeted perspective that keeps you in the game?
Well, that's a good question, Byron. So, number one for me, this is my bread and butter for I know you said over 10 when you started the introduction, but this is actually my bread and butter for the past 15 years now, right? Yeah. And so it wasn't until I actually discovered wholesaling that my life changed. So for 10 years, I was just the realtor, right? I was a guy that you could come to you wanted to buy a house or you wanted to sell a house or you needed a loan. I was the guy for that. But in that 10 years in the business, I was never really making six figures, right? A good year may have been $60,000 or $70,000, but at the end of the day, it was just enough to get by, just enough to pay the bills and take care of the family. And it wasn't until I discovered this side of the business after deciding to become an investor myself, picking up my own fix and flip properties or buying whole properties. It wasn't until then that I discovered wholesaling. And so one thing for me is that I went from, because as a regular realtor, you're going to make 3% commission on whatever the sales price of the house is. And coming from humble beginnings, right? My parents worked very, middle class job. My dad was a truck driver. My mom worked at a plant, right? So your first clients in real estate typically come from your network. Well, that network couldn't afford $400,000 houses or $500,000 houses or even $300,000 houses. So those first clients were, at best $150K. So if you think about 3% on $100,000 deal, you're only making $3,000, right? Mm-hmm. So that's $100,000 house that I sold, and I make $3,000 off of it. Well, then I got to split it with my brokerage because I'm new in the business, and that was a 50-50. So I sell $100,000 property, and I only make $1,500, right? Well, I did enough of them to say, okay, well, now it's time for me to start making some money, and I discovered wholesaling, and I'm not going to go into that story, but I'll tell you this. In this business, my first deal, I made $8,000 cash on a $60,000 property. All right, so
right. Not to stop you, Sean, but I sent you a request real quick. I sent you a request on your Instagram Live. You want to accept that real quick so we can make sure everybody's getting this.
Let me see. View request. Go live.
For those of you who are tuned in and watching,
are you there?
We about to go up. We about to give out the game.
There you go.
Wholesale Domination 2024.
Back your camera up a little bit on the Instagram.
What's
And
up?
like my brother said, hey, we didn't tell you we was tech savvy. We just told you we know real estate. So
yes, indeed.
So bear with us a little bit. You know, a lot of this stuff is new to us still. But at the end of the day, so like I was saying, you know, when it came to wholesaling, made $8,000 on the first deal on a $60,000 property. Mute your phone on Instagram.
Okay.
There we go. All right, so we shouldn't have that echo now. Once again, we didn't tell you we was tax savvy. We just told you we knew real estate.
Man, turn up. We coming to put the gang down, put the play down, talk money, and hopefully build and bring in some hungry people.
This is not a
for the
formal
network.
meeting. We're just gonna kick it. We're just gonna talk business. We're gonna talk about the things that we know, right? And so going back to the things that we know, $8,000 on my first deal, and that kind of sparked the desire to continue to pursue this thing heavily, because you know, if I'm making $1,500 versus on $100,000 property where I can make $8,000 on a $60,000 property, it only makes sense to put our focus there, or put my focus there, right? And so after I discovered that, you know, I had conversations with Byron and some other friends, and this was before B got into business. And I'm excited about it. And I'm telling them about it. And B came home and we just decided to take this top tier solutions thing seriously. So we formed a partnership. And since then, we've been able to make $1 million in the business at the end of the day. So what keeps me going is simply the fact that I don't have to punch a clock. I don't have to ask somebody permission to piss. I don't have to ask somebody permission to go to my daughter's football or volleyball game, or my nephew's football game, or I don't have to ask anybody permission to go to Cancun for the weekend or Jamaica for the week, right? This is completely self-motivated business. It's a self-starters business, because if you don't have the self-motivation, you will not be successful in this business, because nobody is there over your back telling you what to do and when to do it. Right.
Yeah,
that's where a lot of us get caught up. We get caught up in, you know, putting 8 hours into somebody else's dream instead of putting 2 hours into our own. Right. And if you put 2 hours a day into wholesaling real estate, you'll make 6 figures guaranteed.
And this is the thing, Sean. That's what we love the most. That's what we love the most about this is you're right. If you literally just put a little time in, the results are amazing. But what about those people out there that's really watching this and, you know, they're like, okay, I understand that. I hear that. Put 2 hours in, I can make all this money. Let's really get to the bottom line of the simplicity of this business and really just talking about when it comes to securing off-market deals with no money out of pocket, right? No money out of pocket. Now, obviously, there's some ways to market for deals that cost, and obviously, anybody.
Byron, 1 second. Unmute yourself on Instagram.
Right. Yeah. So obviously, you know, you invest in some marketing, but this is making profits in the tens of thousands of dollars with no money out of pocket. And so for someone out there listening to this and they're entry level, or they just hear about wholesaling, I'm going to just tell you how simple it is. We're just looking to buy homes, off market homes, the same way if you wanted to buy a car tomorrow. And if you got that car for a deal and you got it for a low price, and you could turn around and flip it because you got a good deal, the person was desperate, they had to move, they just had money, and they wasn't trying to get the top dollar for the car. They just needed money bad, and they're like, "Hey, I'll just let this thing go. You might get it for $3,000. Meanwhile, you can turn around and sell it for $7,000 or $8,000." This is that, and the simplest. But instead of having to go and cash out that car in real estate, you know, you just don't go, "Hey, I want to buy a house, and here's some cash," right? It's a process for title work to where you get a window of time to close on that property, right? And so in the off-market deals, that window is typically aimed for 21 to 30 days. And it's a contract that secures the property at that price we're going to get it for 21 to 30 days. And during that 21 to 30 days, we put our tax on top of the property, and we shop it for sale legally, right? And we sell it before that 30 days is up to somebody who I got it for 30,000 in the as is condition, but they're willing to pay 45,000 in the as is condition because it's profits on it. It's money to be made. It's a real estate investment. So I make a quick $15,000 with no money out of pocket by just saying, hey, instead of me closing out on this contract on this deal, my cousin John is going to buy it. And John gives me my fee and gets me out of the way. And now he's the purchaser of that investment. It's literally that simple. So what we're going to talk to you guys about is just all of the ways to go and find those off-market deals. And I'm going to just hit you with one quick one. Word of mouth, right? So word of mouth is simply, hey, I'm in the real estate business now. I'm learning wholesaling, right? I'm working with some people in the business. They're looking to buy properties off market, or I'm looking to buy properties off market. But if you say you and people know, hey, they might be in real how it was when I first started. They might know you can't afford to buy properties, right? Or they might assume that. And so you can leverage, hey, I'm working with a team of people, real estate investors, wholesalers, they're buying properties cash. If you know anybody who have any properties for sale of any kind, let me know. I can put them with these guys if you're working in a team with us, or if you get the education, then you can handle the transaction. And when that property comes to you for somebody trying to sell it, then the games begin. You negotiate, you secure a good deal to make you some profits. So just off word of mouth, just simply saying I'm in the real estate business now, because that's kind of how I did it. I just said once Sean gave me the game, and I not even that I had the full game, but as I was learning the business, I get active, right? So basically, what we're saying that you don't have to know all the information to start making money in it, especially in the community and a team of people, because nobody's going to let a deal fall by because everybody makes money off of a deal, right? So you literally just from sitting on this call, picking up this game, taking this information, you literally tomorrow can be making a post on your social media platform. Hey, I'm excited, guys. I just got in the real estate business. I'm looking to pick up some off-market properties cash. If you guys know anybody looking to sell, hit me up, right? Pipeline for you to get some deals coming in. Now you got a team behind you that can help you with the steps. You got training, you have a course, you have a checklist that can help you understand those next steps, right? So also, aside from making that announcement on your social media platforms, as far as written, then now every conversation you engage in, whether you're at work, whether you're wherever you're at, every conversation you engage in, you should be putting it out there that you're in a real estate business now, you're an investor and you're looking to buy properties, or you're working with a team of investors who's looking to buy properties off market. Now you're just a walking advertisement that you're in a real estate business. And I'm telling you, it's going to be like magic. Deals and opportunities are just going to start falling in your lap, because now you went from not even talking real estate, not even being able to talk real estate, not even being able to understand that if you could just ask people for off-market deals and put them on Facebook, an announcement that we can show you and you can learn how to capitalize on those deals and make great profits for you and your families. So word of mouth is definitely my first top form of marketing to find off-market wholesale deals. Word of mouth, making sure everybody knows that I'm in the real estate business now and I'm looking for off-market deals. That's every day, all day of life. And you'll start to realize deals will find you consistently. And now let's say even if you did do one deal a month and make an extra $5,000 to $10,000 a month just off of now speaking that you're in a real estate business and you're looking for off-market properties, and now being in a network and collaborating with people who know the business, who can help you turn just that conversation into profits. So word of mouth, Sean, for me is definitely my first personal favorite, because it's just talk. It don't cost, right? A post on social media, a flyer, me saying out my mouth, I'm in the real estate business now. We buy houses cash. I'm looking to buy off-market properties, can land deals in my lap all day, every day for my entire existence, right? Because we don't lose the information once we got it. So that's why that's my personal favorite, the word of mouth. What's your go-to far as when you need to get some inventory right away and you need to start making money right away? what's your personal focus when it comes to securing those off-market deals?
All right, great question. So, believe it or not, I have made multiple six figures on Craigslist and Facebook Marketplace. You guys won't understand how vital Facebook Marketplace is until you actually go in there and start searching and seeing what's going on, right? All you got to do is go in there and type in houses for sale. And then once you start getting in this business and you're starting to know the market and knowing the areas and knowing the values, you'll see underpriced property right in Facebook Marketplace. You on Facebook all day. Shit, you on Facebook right now, right? And right now, there are deals sitting there undervalued, underpriced. There's a motivated seller that says, hey, I need to get rid of this place immediately, right? Give me, a lot of times it'll say $1, right? But all you have to do is reach out and say, hey, I'm interested. They'll respond, can I come out and take a look at it? Sure. Well, once you get the address and you have, the other part of the conversation that we'll teach you about, you go out to take a look at that property, assess the repair amounts, assess the value before you even go to make sure that it is a deal that has some meat on the bone. Because if they want 50 and it's only worth 60, there's not enough money in there for anybody, right? But if they want 50 and it needs some work and you run your comps and all of that stuff and you find out it's worth $150 or $200,000, that's a deal that you want to pursue. So every single day when I wake up, the first thing I'm doing, if I'm not writing, continuing to write the book or doing some research on something else, is going on Facebook Marketplace and Craigslist to see what deals are out there. And guess what? These are people that are already selling, so we don't have to convince them to sell, right? They're already motivated because inside of the post, they may have even put, hey, moving out of state, need to get rid of the property. Hey, my mom died, I inherited this house, I don't want to be a landlord, need to get rid of the property. Hey, taking cash offers, I don't want to list with a realtor, need to get rid of the property, right? So they're already telling you what their motivation is inside of the post. And this business is made off of motivated sellers and us being able to capitalize on that motivation. Big.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And really very, very well put, and as simple as that. And I know some people probably out there, and I hope it's some people on here listening that has been in a wholesale business, and it's really just clicks with you like, damn, I'm not swimming and searching through Craigslist Marketplace where deals be there all the time. Like Sean said, he's made multiple six figures. I've made six figures off of Craigslist Marketplace for sure. Honestly, that was where my first deal was at, off Craigslist. I simply went on as I was taught, go look for off-market deals based on those motivated seller keywords. I went to Craigslist. I saw a property that said need to sell fast, right? I did what Sean said. I reached out and said, hey, I'm interested in this property. I'd like to come check it out. What's going on with it? He said, fine, come check it out. We're really looking to sell. It was our dad's property. He passed recently. Me and my three sisters, they're all off and married. I'm married. We don't want to take on the property. It was like a headache for them, right? So they want to get rid of it really quickly. So I come and check out the property, and it was a nice property, and they actually had it priced kind of high because, again, they're not educated about the real estate industry and what it should be priced at. Their dad just passed, and they're just looking to sell this property and not get taken advantage of, but get rid of it so they can spend the money going about their business. So when I walked through and I checked it out, due to the education that I had in the business, I saw that, hey, this is a very nice house. It was actually in Harper Woods. And I'm like, hey, this is a very nice house. This is a very nice house, but it's outdated. So it was move-in ready, livable, but the dad had been there for a long time, and the paint was outdated. Everything was outdated in the place. So once I was able to bring to their attention, hey, I'm very interested in this house, but what you guys got it priced at is pretty high because it hasn't been updated in over 10 years. So for it to meet the new value, I'm gonna have to do all of these updates. They just understood that. And aside from understanding that, they were motivated to sell because it's a headache. Them dealing with having to come back, keep showing the place, they're ready to be over with it. So we negotiated a price that they were happy with, but that put me in a position to make a good profit, assigning it to another buyer who's actually going to put the money up. So I did exactly what we talk about with the wholesaling business. I secured the contract for 30 days that I was going to purchase it at this price, right? And during that time, I shopped it. And in our contract, we have the permission to shop the property, show them, because we have interest in those contracts, which we get deeper on more calls or within our community with our guys on what gives us the right to shop a property that's under contract that we haven't purchased yet, right? And shop it to sell it ourselves, which is why this whole call is about getting inventory, because as long as you keep some inventory, you're going to keep some money. You're going to make money, right? And I go back to the word of mouth. That's how you get and keep inventory. Always talking the game and talking the business. You think while we're on live right now talking to you guys, yeah, we're trying to talk to you guys about the education and information, get you in our community so that we can network with you, show you how to capitalize on your network and your neighborhood and all of the real estate that you're passing every day that could be turned into profit. Of course, we're coming for that, but we're also here building our own word of mouth, because anybody that bumps into this live video or sees this video, if you know somebody that's looking to sell a property and they need to sell right away, Top Tier Solutions is buying. DM us, hit us up, and we're going to make sure you make some money off of it as a referral. But if you're in the business, it don't have to be a referral. It can be a deal for you, right? So instead of just getting the referral because you don't get the education and invest in that, then it could be a deal for you, right? So I want you to really understand that. But we're always talking and we're always searching for off-market deals to flip, and that's for life. So, like Sean said, we gave you guys two gems: word of mouth, letting people know you're in the business, you're looking to buy properties cash, you're posting on your social media where you post about it and everything else. So just slide in there. Hey, I'm in the real estate business now. I'm looking to pick up some properties that off market, get my first investment. If you guys know anybody looking to sell, let me know. They come to you, you come to us. We show you how to work them, how to bust them down, how to make a check. Right? Let's get in a network. Sean gave you guys many ways to go and find deals and keep inventory and make money consistently in his business. He said the first thing he does when he wakes up in the morning, right before he even brushes his teeth, he didn't even say he brushed his teeth first. He said the first thing he does when he wakes up in the morning is he turns over to his phone to the Facebook Marketplace to see what new deals and new opportunities here, because he could be waking up and turning over to a $10,000 that he's going to secure and make in the next 2 weeks. And that happens a lot, right? That happens a whole lot because he knows when he turn over and go on Marketplace or Craigslist exactly what he's looking for. He's like a shark in the water. So once he spot, oh, this is a deal right here, and he simply send a message, hey, I'm interested in this place. I want to check it out. And because he knows his numbers, because he knows the business, because he has the education that we're trying to share and give with you guys, he's able to see with a smile on his face, that's a deal I can make 10, 15, might make 20 off this one. And lock it up, right? So we're going to teach you guys how to lock them up, how to secure them, how to calculate them and know that you're going to make money, how to know where you're going to make money. Like, you just need to know the real estate wholesaling business and the business in general, like your favorite song or your type of shoe. Everybody got to start somewhere. I'm entry level. Sean's entry level. I invested in education. Sean's invested in education. We're still investing in education. We're still in the game right now, which is why we're on live talking to you guys. So outside of word of mouth and Craigslist and Marketplace, we can give another one, right? So my next favorite, and I'll keep this short, I just get passionate and excited. It is what it is. But my next favorite is,
before you go into that, you just mentioned folks having trouble locking in deals, right?
Right.
Well, we actually have Diamonds Dazzle who commented, I'm having trouble locking deals in though. Right? So
Right.
what tip can you give her, or what expertise can you give her in your experience that'll help her get those contracts or get those properties under contract because it seems as if she may be getting the appointments, right? She may be finding the properties, but when it comes time to actually get those people to sign on the dotted line, it's not going through for her. So what can you give her, any little gem or tip or piece of knowledge that you possess that will help her moving forward?
Of course. So aside from not having the detailed information, which we will be able to get in the community, so I can really assess and break it down for her as far as what she's doing wrong, I'll just answer it for as far as what I could assume. And the first thing is this: I think that she's taking no for an answer too easy, and I think she's taking no for an answer too soon. And I think that she may be taking no for an answer too easy or too soon because she may be lacking ammunition as far as negotiations or as far as I don't know how thorough she knows her numbers. Is this a deal? I don't know. But the bottom line, if she's not locking it in, because only way stuff's gonna get locked in is if we lock them in. If she's not locking it in, it's just she's taking no for an answer too easy and too soon. Especially if she do know her numbers and she can say, "Hey, they're selling this anyway. I got them on the cuffs. This is a $15,000 spread or a $10,000 spread." Like if she's able to see her spread while in that process and she lets it go, then I would just say she's taking no for an answer too soon. And I wouldn't say be pressy, but it's some skills and negotiations and some open-ended questions that if I had some one-on-one time with her, I can walk her through when it comes to her seller saying no or taking no for an answer. Like we want to present ourselves, and you definitely have to learn this. And if you're somebody new or in the beginning, I don't expect you to be out the gate confident with moving like this. But when we go to buy a property from a seller or get a property from a seller, we come into them like and it's an attitude, so don't confuse this, right? It's an attitude, confidence, and surety, and that comes from your knowledge and education on the game. But we want to come to them like, hey, like Jay-Z would come to buy your house and not really taking no for an answer, right? But we're also not going to pay anything or high from it. We're going to pay what it's worth, but we're going to walk you through that with skills and with knowledge and education. Hey, Miss Johnson, I definitely want to get this deal secured. I want to get it done. I want to make sure you walk away happy. I want to make sure you guys are happy with the transaction, with the sale. I know you're looking to sell. So I will ask whoever that client or that seller is, what's making you change your mind and what's making you skeptical? Because I definitely don't want you to be skeptical in the transaction. I want everything to be transparent and smooth. So what has you skeptical, Miss Johnson? Let's walk through it together. Or Mr. Paul, let's walk through it together because we want to make sure this deal happens and we want to make sure everybody walks away happy in the deal. And just that approach right there could also take somebody from wanting to back out and reeling them back in because now you took it away from the sale and you're making it about them being happy. They want to sell. You're not somebody just coming here and just want to take it. Your business, your numbers, so they're not going to take advantage of you. Let's work through this together so that we can get this deal secure, so everybody is happy, right? Especially if it's a nice spread on it. Let's say it was a $20,000 spread on it based on your numbers. That's $20,000 of all profit that you got to work within to make this deal work. So if I got to chop that 20 down to 12 in my negotiation to make the deal work, I'll make the 12, right? So that's just general answer to that type of scenario, Sean. But obviously, in our group, we go through this a lot with our Q&A. So I would tell them to download the checklist first and foremost. And we do have a course that we're going to talk about towards the end of the call, but we really just want to spend time really just giving you guys just the insight into the business so that people are secure and understand why they should take this leap and why they should invest in the business and how they can be making their first 10K plus in the business within the next 30 days.
Yeah, and just to add to that, right? So let's look at this from a place where we assume that she knows how to run comps. She knows her numbers. She knows what the repair costs are, right? In this business, 85% of the time, money fixes every issue. Okay. So if you have someone that is skeptical about signing a contract with you, A lot of times we can just fix that with money. And so what that tells me is that if you got all of these things in place and you're having trouble getting contracts signed, it's probably because you are offering folks lower than what they believe their home is worth, or you haven't correctly identified the motivation. Okay. So if you believe that this home is worth this, but they believe it's worth something that's $30,000 more, then obviously they aren't going to sign a contract with you to sell for $30,000 less than what they believe their house is worth. All right. So I would point that back at you and say that the reason that you're having trouble getting deals under contract is because your numbers are too low. And why are your numbers too low? Because you're going after the wrong properties. So you haven't correctly identified the motivation, or either you haven't really run those numbers to a T. And if you have, you didn't quite know what you were doing when you were running those numbers. And that's okay, right? It's okay to not know everything when you first start off in the business. It's okay to need a little bit of help. It's okay to need a little bit of guidance. It's okay to say, I'm not an expert. But when you're dealing with a community like we have in Top Tier, you'll be able to get that expertise and that knowledge from not only myself and Byron, but from other members of the Top Tier community. So that's why it's important that you join, and that's why it's a vital step into your real estate career, that you have support, that you have mentorship, that you have tutelage, because each one teach one is a real thing, and we all got to where we are based on the knowledge of someone else.
And I would say that if taking nothing else is just, yes, get in a network in a community in a business, because like that's money that's being, that possibly, right? Maybe it wasn't a deal, the numbers weren't right, but let's say they was, and that fish swim away, what we call it, right? Not letting the fish get off the hook. That could have been 10, 20, 15. I don't know what your spread was, with 10, 20, $15,000 that walked away from, how we look at it, families, right? So with the
But B,
community,
even if it's 5,000 or 3,000,
yeah,
isn't that
2,000,
worth it? Isn't that worth it at the end of the day?
yeah, of
Like that's
course,
someone's monthly salary, $3,000,
of course.
$5,000. So don't let you going into this thing thinking you're gonna make $15,000 off of every deal stop you from making seven. Like $7,000 is $7,000. That's a lot of money still, right? And if you put 7 12s or 12 sevens, you make $84,000 in a year. That's lawyer money, starting out. So don't get shit twisted, man. It's a lot of money to be made in this business, and we can't get greedy thinking that you're going to get rich overnight, because this is not a get rich quick scheme. This is a get rich slowly and gradually and consistently, right? Consistency is key in this business. And I'll pass the floor back to you.
Yeah, for sure. Not even just getting rich, but if you can just, utilize that word of mouth consistently and make an extra $5,000, $10,000 a month. Like, it's a lot of money. If extra $10,000 a month is $120,000 a year, right? So extra $5,000 a month is 60,000, and just getting this education and information, and now being able to utilize word of mouth in your daily walk of life, and ask people for off market deals that you can buy, and you're working with a team of people and you know how to close them up. That's just as simple as how that extra $5,000 to $10,000 a month can come into your life and your income, and even beyond just it coming into your life and your income for now. Real estate wholesaling, that doesn't go anywhere. Real estate is for life. So now you will be able to teach your cousin, brother, mother, sister. I've closed many deals with my mom. You know what I'm saying? Because my mom, if she don't know nothing else, if she's not a wholesaler full time, but she know, if she hear anything about any off market deals or anybody in her network that knows somebody that has a property for sale, let me know. So she knows to inquire about that and not let that pass by. And guess what? Hey, son, I ran across my girlfriend Sherry, and her cousin John wants to sell his house. For sure, ma, have him give me his number. You know what I'm saying? I get on the phone with John. It's a 10K deal. Thanks, man. Good looking. Here you go. It can be that simple. So when we talk about consistency, that's where the consistency comes from. Just walking through the everyday life, doing and living real estate. You know what I'm saying? Putting the word out there. Like a lot of you guys see our channels, all on Sean channel is here. He just posted today. Him closing deals. He's in the real estate business. All on my channel, I'm talking real estate. I'm in the real estate. So deals come to you consistently. Like you could literally be sitting on your couch and your phone could ring, and it's an opportunity and it's a deal, and you don't know if it's a $2,000 spread on it or a $60,000 spread on it or 35,000 or a 10 or a 7 or 8 or a 5. You don't know, but in this business, those are the profits that we're working with, right? So I really just want this thing to be as simple, as simply understood as possible, and it's really that simple. But the number one thing that you guys are missing, it's just the knowledge and education. It's the number one thing I was missing. I couldn't do a real estate deal. I had my AT&T franchise for 5 years, multi-million-dollar company. I had all this money and I didn't know nothing about wholesaling real estate or even investing. It took for me to lose everything for me to even go say, shit, you don't know nothing about investing in real estate. Even if you know about, hey, I want to buy a house to live in, but it's different to know about assessing investment properties in real estate because they're all around you. You probably know some kind of friend, family, relative, loved one who's lost their home to foreclosure, who's lost their home to a foreclosure, that if you had this education, you could have saved them of their home, saved them from going in debt, losing their home, and you could have made you a profit off of it. I've saved many people. Sean, we've saved many people from foreclosures where we made money, but they were happy because now they don't have this huge debt on their credit. They don't have a foreclosure on them. You know what I'm saying? Their stress was relieved. And in most cases, we're able to get them in a position where they can walk away with a couple dollars. And we make money. We're only able to do this for one reason, because we got the education. We know how to assess values. We know how to assess repair costs. Or we know how to call in a contractor to give us a repair. We got marketing out there, what we're talking to you guys about. We got word of mouth out there. We have our social media show. We do real estate. We're waking up, turning and going on Craigslist Marketplace, finding off-market deals. One I talked about, my direct mail letters. I'm making sure I just send out a letter to a leads list to 500 people a month, just saying, hey, I'm interested in buying your house. It might take me $200-$300 to send out 500 letters, but if I close 2-3 deals out of that 500 letters throughout the year, 30,000 minimum, 20,000, 50,000, 60,000, because I sent out 500 direct mail letters asking to purchase people's homes. And I got the education to know what to do with it once they say, hey, yeah, I'll sell, And so that's all we're doing. We're just going through life marketing for off-market deals. And the only thing you're missing is the education to take that response from that seller and turn it into profits for you and your family. That's what this is. So download the checklist. It's in the comments, right? It'll make more sense to you, and then get the course. We're going to be sending you our funnel. We're going to talk about the opportunity with the course as we head towards wrapping this call up, but we're kicking it. I just wanted to kick it tonight and really talk the game because I'm passionate about it, and 2024 is going to be major. So I really encourage each person to get in the community, get in the game, get in the education, put yourself in a position to take advantage as a real estate wholesaler investor going into 2024. So I gave you guys in that conversation, that spiel, another one of my favorite marketing and ways to bring in deals, which is the direct mail letters. So while we hot, while we on fire, Sean, give them another way to bring in deals and make money in this business.
I know one of your favorites is direct mail.
For sure.
Right? Direct mail is super vital, super important in this business. Right? And so, at Top Tier, we actually partner with a company, REI Pro, that allows us to go into the system, research an area, whether it be a city, a county, a zip code, and then pull all of the vacant leads from that city or all of the properties that have high equity, which means that they owe way less on the property than it's actually worth, right? So that's high equity. We can get all of the properties owned by a trust. which is 9 times out of 10 an investment property or a property that's going to be left to someone.
Chris, we're going to answer that for you. No, go ahead, Sean. Chrissy in the comments, she got a question. We're going to get to it.
Okay. All right, cool. Yeah. So when we talk about trust, that's places that 9 times out of 10 are going to be left to someone, right? When the elder passes away, the trust is going to be inherited by the person who's the trustee of the trust, which gets a little bit complicated. But at the end of the day, it's a place that you're not necessarily going to live in. So if they don't want to be a landlord, then they're going to be wanting to sell that property, right? So we're able to pull all of those. We're able to pull the out-of-state owners of the properties. We're able to pull pre-foreclosures, all of these things that you get as a member of Top Tier or as an affiliate of Top Tier in our REI Pro system, right? And so the thing that I was going with was that because we're able to access all of this information, we are able to create leads list, okay? So we can go in and say, hey, pull up all of the vacant properties that are in Macomb County, that are 3 bedrooms that have been bought no later than 2016, that have high equity, right? And it's vacant.
I think you're giving away a little too much sauce right now.
Nah, but this is one of those times where we're kicking it. So I've never been afraid to give away sauce.
I'm just
right?
joking. I'm just
we want the
joking.
people to get the sauce, right? So we wouldn't be doing this if we didn't want to share information. And so if I share too much, so what? Didn't cost me nothing. I just help somebody further their real estate career and their success in this business. And I'm okay with that, right? So when we're talking about REI Pro, we can do all those things. But where I was going is that we're able to generate letters in marketing from this system, okay? And with that marketing, we can send customized letters that say, hey, Susie, I want to buy your house at 123 Main Street. Or, hey, John, I want to buy your house at 456 Woodward, right? In any city in the world. And all it takes is a little bit of monetary investment for us to send all of those letters out. And like Byron said, if I spend $300 to send 600 letters and I close 3 deals off of those 600 letters, I just 10x or 15x my money. So it's worth it at the end of the day. So that's one of them. But the other one is cold calling. You know, good old fashioned, pick up the phone, call strangers. You never know who you're going to get at the other end of that line, right? And so once you can go into that system, that same system, and pull all of these leads and skip tracing, and I won't even tell y'all what skip tracing is because B telling me I'm giving away too much sauce.
But download the checklist.
But once you're able to contact those sellers and those owners, you'll be able to have conversations, just general guide down the street conversations. Hey, I see your place is vacant. What are you doing with it?
Sean, wait real quick. So, and I knew this was coming. Chrissy says cold calling is scary, and most people approach it with that mindset, and I'm going to tell you why. Because they approach it as a big task, right? When most people think about cold calling, the first thing you think about is I got to call 100, I got to call 200, and that may be the case. But if you have a system, and this is what I've learned that has allowed my business for sure, I know Sean agrees with his business and our business together to flourish, is the systems, right? So when we talk about all these forms of marketing, we love the freedom of wholesaling real estate. So if we need to get in that trap and hustle, we'll go hard and trap on the hustle and run it up. But we enjoy our time freedom. We like to travel a lot and do nice things all the time. So when I approach cold calling, let's say I take a list of 100, right? I'm not going to sit there and call 100 calls. I know I'm not going to do that, but I know I will call 10 calls within an hour, right? Take 10 minutes. So what I'll do is I'll break up a 30 piece, 30 phone numbers. And I say, I'm going to call 15 of these at the start of my day, right? For the morning crowd. That's very doable to make 15 calls. And then I'm going to call another 15 in the nighttime. So that's one thing is the approach. But the other thing, Chrissy, is if cold calling is scary because you're worried about the outcome or the response or what somebody's going to say on the other end of the phone, excuse my French, fuck them. They're getting away your bag. You know what I'm saying? We call them, when we call people to cold call, we call them like big dogs. We call them like, we're not calling like we need, oh, I need to get this deal. And on the internal side, we feel like that because we want the money. Don't get it confused. But our attitude, our confidence has to always be as we're big bosses. We're a corporation. We're calling to buy your property. So they're going to love talking to me because they're going to know when they're talking to me over the phone, I'm a buyer. They're going to hear it in my voice. They're going to hear it in my confidence. They're not going to be like, oh, who just called my phone? They're going to want to talk because how I'm going to come up and call them, the confidence is going to be there. Like I'm serious, right? So I can't have that doubt there. I can't have that hesitation there. I have to be ready like I'm on a mission. You know what I'm saying? And this is going to be funny, but a tactic that I use to kind of help get over that fear, help you get in the mode to make those cold calls a hustle. Before I get to doing cold calling, I just turn up my music. I turn up. Baby, I've been turning on 6 because it turns me up. And then I'll jump on the call and I got that energy. Hey, how you doing? You know, this Byron with Top Tier Solutions. Got it, your address. Wanted to know what's going on with the property. Would you guys be interested in selling it? Is this Diane? You still own the property? If they hang up on you, then they hang up on you. On to the next. Shoot them a text message
at the end of the
as
day,
a follow-up.
It's at the end of the day, it's so what? Fuck them, move on. Right? That's essentially the principle that we live by. So what? Fuck them, move on. Especially if it's a negative conversation, even if it's a positive conversation, though, because you never know what's going to actually come out of that deal until you get eyes on that property, till you talk to that seller fully, make an offer on that place, and then be able to move it. So you can't get too high or too low based on the conversation that you have with a seller that you cold call, right? Some folks will just say, hey, now's not the right time. Call me back in 2 weeks. Put that shit in your Rolodex and call them back in 2 weeks, right?
Yeah, make sure you call back.
Or 4 weeks. And then if you want to say, because there's one thing that we've learned in sales, and Byron is a monster in sales, right? In the sales field. That's his background. That's where he made his first real indent into success, is being a franchise owner for AT&T, right? Which was sales. And so one of those things that we learn in sales is that the principle of indifference. So we talk to a person and they say, oh, well, now is not the right time. You know, give me a call back in 2 days. Maybe you don't want to call back in 2 days. Maybe you want to call back in 5, just so you keep the power, essentially, right? So you don't look so desperate. So you don't look like you just need to buy their place. Look, Miss Johnson, there's 1,000 other places that I'm looking at. Right, so I would like to buy yours, but if you don't sell me yours, then fuck you. I'm gonna buy the other one.
I always tell them too. Look, we looking to close out on something by the end of the week. We've been shopping, so if we can, the sooner we can get in there, it would be better. So now I done impulse them. Like if I want this place, we ready to shop. We've been shopping and we ready to secure something. So that's gonna help when it comes to securing the contract, right? And it's that indifference that Sean is talking about. I didn't start shopping when I landed on your spot. I didn't start shopping when I landed the cold call you. I've been shopping and I'm shopping all the time. And one thing you will learn is when you become the person with the inventory, you can talk like this because you also gonna be the person with the buyers. And when you're the person with all the buyers and you know you about to sell all this shit, you can talk like you got a $10 million plus bank because you do. You know what I'm saying? When you put this deal in front of them buyers, and they buying and you know they got that bank and you know they ready to close out, then you need to be talking with that sense of urgency. Like I need to lock this stuff up for my buyers so they can increase their portfolios because the more money I make them, the more money I'm going to make for myself, right? So it's always about when we could talk about serving now, right? It's always about serving the customer. So who's your customers and clients? Your buyers. You don't exist without your buyers. Buyers love wholesalers. Don't never let nobody get it twisted on the name of a wholesaler. We the best thing in the game. We get all the deals first at the best numbers. And if you want the deals, you got to come through us. And don't let us decide we buying up right now and start taking stuff first, right? Because we put the work in to go and find the off-market deals. So this is the attitude and the mentality you want to have when it comes to pursuing that inventory. You know, you want to go get that inventory aggressively. And it's not to say pushy, because when it comes to sales, it's a balance between being pushy and being aggressive. Pushy is the opposite of what Sean is talking about, indifference. Pushy is like desperate. You know what I'm saying? Pushy is like anxious. No, we aggressive. We talking like they don't expect us to talk. Like, hey, Miss Johnson, I'm trying to buy something by the end of the week. Are you guys looking to sell the place or not? You know, I got my guys, they're gonna be in town. Can they come out tomorrow and check it out so we can walk it, so we can give you an offer? Straight up like that.
Yep. Chrissy says most people want $1 million for their houses. How do you combat that?
Your house is not worth $1 million, Miss Johnson. Your carpet ain't been updated in the last week. Needs a roof. I'm gonna have to put a window on this thing. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna have to repaint the whole thing because in 2024 nobody's really doing the all white, Miss Johnson. So I don't want to. It's a very nice house. So I always come back with that. It's a very nice house, right? It's a very nice house. I'm very interested. I love it, but Miss Johnson, I'm no fool. This is what we do. I'm not going to pay you that for a house that's not worth that. And the mentality that I want to give to you, Chrissy, and anybody else is listening, you just got to be the professional. Like, you're not going to walk into your doctor's office and tell him how to service you. You're not going to tell him, no, doc, this was wrong with me. No, doc, this is what I need. No, doc, this is my symptom. You can try to tell him that, but the real doctor would laugh at that. And that's just how I approach a seller. Hey, man, unless it's a seller that says they're an investor, they got 100 properties, then I might be like, all right, this person knows their stuff. I'm gonna meet them where they at. But if it's a seller that's just a seller, I have to come in as the investor, the professional. A seller don't know how to assess carpet. A seller don't know if their roof needs to be repaired. A seller don't know that the windows are old and outdated. They don't care about that. A seller don't know that just because they got the white refrigerator and stove, it's not going to be worth the same as with the stainless steel refrigerator and stove. They don't know that.
Preach about
that.
And another thing when it comes to sellers combating your values, right? Personally, I do business transparently. So I like to take my comps and show them, hey, your house is 1,000 square feet. It's 3-bedroom, 1 bath. It has a basement. This is what the other houses that are 3-bedroom, 1 bath, with 1,000 square feet within a half a mile of your house sold for. Okay. Now let's look at the pictures of some of those houses. You see this granite countertop. You see this hardwood floors. You see this recessed lighting. Now, how much money is it going to take me to take your house from looking like it looks right now with this yellow ass kitchen and this old ass bathroom tile to look like this brand new, nice, updated property? Okay.
Right.
And if the answer is $50,000, well, look, I need to be able to make something, right? So your house is worth $200,000 like this. I got to put $50,000 into it. I got to be able to make a profit. So this is what makes sense for me to pay you for your house in order to be an investor. I'm not an investor because it sounds cool. I'm an investor because I'm looking to make money. And if I can't make money, then it's not a smart investment. So I can't make you an offer that you're looking for unless you comply with what the numbers say. And a lot of times that works for us, right? I've had newbies. I've gone on appointments with some of our students and simply broke the numbers down to the sellers and was able to lock that contract up because they understood once they seen, hey, this is what this is worth, really fixed up, and it's going to take these guys 40 or 50,000 to get it to that. So I'm really tripping asking for 140 or 160 when it's only worth $180,000.
Yep. And one thing to
transparency is key, and just doing good business, being trustworthy, and knowing your stuff. At the end of the day, just know your stuff and be confident that you know your stuff. And once you can do that, you'll have no problem locking up those contracts or getting those sellers to sign on the bottom line.
Yeah, and one thing just to add to that, obviously you're a realtor, right? So you have access to the MLS to pull up those comps and those stats right there with your seller on the spot. But like he mentioned earlier, REI Pro, which our affiliate link should be in the comments. If not, we just send us a DM and we can get that over to you guys. But with REI Pro, you can also run those comps right there on your phone. and show that same scenario minus the actual photos of the property. And then also another tip to just add with what Sean is saying, for Chrissy, your question again, as far as them wanting a higher price, it's simply like sometimes as wholesalers, we operate as wholesalers with sellers. No, wholesaler is a transaction. I'm going to wholesale this property. I'm not a wholesaler. I'm an investor, hustler, businessman that's looking to buy your property. How I sell it, which one of my partners who are my buyers, which one of my partners put the money up and close out on this is none of your business. I'm coming to buy this property. I'm a buyer of all my property. Point blank, period. That's how you got to come. You are the buyer. You have to be able to negotiate as the buyer. Even if you're representing what you are as a wholesaler, you're just representing another buyer and investor who secured a great deal for them, making you a fee. So you need to have all of the knowledge, the skills, the tools, the confidence that your buyers possess. You know how we treat buyers, and I'm going to say we because we all go to the buyers spending that money. So sometimes we be like, oh yeah, he got the money, calling the shots. No, he's not. And it's okay. Like as a wholesaler, I'm calling the shots with my buyers because I'm securing my deals at the right spot where they know it's money to be made. Right? So they're not like,
know that if they don't take it, then somebody else will.
100%.
Because the numbers have been ran to a T, and we've done the research. We've got the education to be able to say this is what this will sell for, no matter what you think.
Period.
I already know the market. So no matter what you tell me or how you combat the information that I'm giving you, I know that what I'm telling you is correct.
Correct. Period. And so you're operating as the buyer, you're learning those numbers, and you're learning the business, and you're speaking with that confidence to those sellers. And I guarantee you that's going to be the difference in locking up more deals. It's just making sure and being on calls like this. That's where a lot of people go wrong. It blows my mind. Like people say, "Oh, I want to make money in the wholesaling, or I want to make money in the real estate, or I want to make money." They don't do anything to make money. You know what I'm saying? Like we on the call, you're not getting no education, you're not getting no negotiation skills. If I asked you what's the last book you read on negotiating, I bet you don't have an answer for it. You're not reading books up on how to negotiate with sellers. You're not coming and sitting on calls about to people who's talking to you who got proof of concept. I know through Sean's social media, many deals up and down this page. On my social media, many business, but other people saying, "Hey, this guy taught me this, he taught me that, he taught me that. I made this much money with them. I made that much money with them," and people still is refusing to invest in themselves and take time out to get some information that could take them from 0 to 100K. We make that in a month sometimes. You know what I'm saying? And people just sitting back, like playing around with the opportunity. And that's the problem. So invest in yourself, get the education. It's not just about learning the wholesale basic rules, like learn negotiation. I got a book out. Do more, do less. Develop a mentality of doing more and doing less. You'll be a fucking beast. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna approach the wholesale business with a whole complete different perspective. You're going to be winning in the business, winning in the game. Contrary to what somebody else is saying, contrary to what somebody else is thinking, your system's rocking. You got direct mail rolling out. Your word of mouth is phenomenal. Like, look at me and Sean. We're still recruiting right now. We're networking. We even went in this further in the business, being transparent with you. We went from wholesalers to now we're coaches, increasing, right? Investing, right? Learning, right? Now we have a course that we invested in, a tremendous course. If somebody takes the course, they're going to make plenty of money. But it shows, if it shows nothing else, we're investing in ourselves and reinvesting in the wholesaling business and the real estate business and putting out greater marketing and advertising. How is your business going to grow if you're not growing in the business? If you're not investing in your advertising, your marketing, not investing in education to become a better negotiator, you're not getting involved in a network so you can have more buyers on your phone just by partnering up with other people so you can move more properties. You're just not working and hustling in the business. So that's really what we got to do. We got to work and hustle the business as businessmen and women, as entrepreneurs, but more so than anything in this business, as real, consistent, knowledgeable, big time buyers. That's what we are. That's what we are. And I don't like doing fix and flips. You know, I don't want to do that. It's not what I want to do. I love wholesaling because it's hands off. You know what I'm saying? I get my money right up front and I can invest it in other things, like other companies, other business, other courses. So how far you want to go with the business, no matter what you want to do, you have to invest. You have to invest in yourself. You have to get the information. And I always used to tell my guys when I ran my franchise, I would run morning meetings. I had about 40 retail reps in my office at any given time. And I would just always tell them that, like, hey, when you know your pitch, when you know your sales skills, like you know your favorite song, you own it. You know, when it becomes easy to you, you own it. So that's why I want to leave with you guys. You know, we can do this all night, but we definitely understand, you know, giving people their time back. We hope you guys took a lot away from this. The main thing is inventory. Get you some inventory. If you're new looking to get in a business, get the checklist, get the course, right? The course is out, right? You're gonna get the email for the course. DM us. The course is 50% off right now. Like, it's going up. Get in the business right now. Zero to 10K.
So Byron, before we leave, what do we talk about in the course?
Say it again.
What do we cover in the course before we get off of this live? What do we cover? You know, because we're giving away a lot of information free, but guess what, guys? You ain't gonna learn every fucking thing in one masterclass for an hour. Listen to us go back and forth and talking about our experience, right? So if you're brand new and you've heard about wholesaling real estate on the internet, or if you've seen it on Instagram, or if you've seen it on anywhere else, right? Wholesaling real estate is a thing. It's been around for decades. You start looking into it, you're only going to learn so much on YouTube, on Google, on anything, right? Mm-hmm. So at Top Tier, what do we provide in the course that they can't get from anywhere else?
Oh, access to us, this game and this network consistently to make sure that they're successful and they understand the business as long as they're willing to invest their time, their effort, and work. Meaning that once they get the course, we always talk to the people who work in the hustling, right? Because we make money when you make money, 100%. When we teach you and show you how to go to your friends, family, relatives, co-workers, your neighborhood, your local town. If you got a cousin in Ohio, how to hustle out there. If you got a cousin in Chicago, how to wholesale all across the country and all of your territory. When we show you how to do that, we're going to bust those bags down with you too. The ones in the beginning for sure, because we're going to have to walk you through that whole step-by-step process and be hands-on with you. Right? Unless you're just an anomaly and you just get off to the races and you got it figured out. But you can with the course and the information. But this is a business of networking and breaking down bags together, right? Because if I can be in your community, if you can be in my community, if I can be in your state, you can be in my state, and we can market out there together, and we can have boots on the ground together to walk our properties together, you know, and close them out. First and foremost, you get that consistent access to us in the network. But then you get the whole entire wholesaling business simplified for you from A to Z, as well as walkthroughs and complete understanding of contracts, what's in the contracts, what protects you in this business, as well as training and development in negotiations, personal development, and as well as training and development on REI Pro, your CRM,
and you know what? That's a very undervalued or understated aspect of this business. Personal development. One thing that is in our 7 steps to success is mastering the fundamentals, right? And when we talk about fundamentals, it's not just putting houses under contract, marketing for buyers, marketing for sellers, and all of that stuff. But it's also about having a mind state to get up every day and pursue something bigger than you pursued yesterday, right? It's also about having the energy and the skill set at your fingertips and then utilizing that stuff. Because we can give you all of the tools that you need to build a house, But if you don't have the instructions on how to build a house, the tools ain't worth nothing, right? And so we're going to give you not only the tools, but the step-by-step instruction manual of how to build your business from A or from zero to thousands and thousands of dollars in revenue in a very short period of time. And I hate to emphasize the word short, right? Because people start thinking get rich quick scheme and all of that type of shit. But a short time could be 6 months or a year to where you go from working at McDonald's to being a 6-figure earner. And that's real, right? And we've had several students go from nothing when they joined our class to making their first 10K, to making 20K, to making 50K, to making 100K in this business in 6 months, and drastically changing their lives. So
yeah, so it's so much more. And one thing I want to reiterate is that when it comes to the course, we're not looking for a customer. We're looking for investors. We're looking for people
or partners. We're looking for
investor partners. We're looking for people who are ready to invest in themselves, put some skin in the game. We know they're serious. We know they've made up of their mind that this is a business they want to tackle and they want to approach, and they're investing in it. And most companies, I've had several companies, I still have several companies. And let me tell you, to kickstart them or kick them off, all of them, I'm invested way more than $10,000, right? Way more than $1,000, right? And still haven't gotten a return. Keep investing. So for a business and an industry that you literally just need the education, the network, and support, and for $1,000 to get years and years of education and experience and access to that, and to turn that into a new business, not only for yourself today, but a generational business, because real estate is going to be real estate forever, and you're able to make money off of it for the rest of your life. It's a no-brainer, right? So I just want to be clear that we're not here to sell anything. If anything, we're looking to buy off-market real estate properties. We can pay cash and close fast. If you know a friend, family, relative, co-worker, anybody got them, send them our way. But if you want to be the person to close off on those deals and make those requests for anybody who got any off-market deals for sale that you want to buy, if you want to become that person, get the course. It's 50% off now. We're excited about the drop. We're excited about you guys having a question getting in the game. Obviously, we're marketing and growing, so I'm going to be honest. That price is going up. That 50% is not going to be around long. It's to give those who are serious and ready to take advantage immediate access and kickstart to us. If you don't get grandfathered in, if you don't go and figure it out and invest to start getting the education to be in this real estate and earning tens of thousands of dollars starting now and going into the rest of forever, right? Long as you hustle and put the work in. If you're not ready to do that, we understand completely. Come back when you're ready. But for those who are ready to go, the time is now. The top tier solution, 7 steps to success, roadmap to wholesale real estate, our $1 million guide, multi-million. If you take us and everybody else that we've trained and introduced to the business and they've made money, it's foolproof and it's guaranteed to get you to where you want to go. We're looking to work with you guys. We're looking to network with you guys. We're expanding constantly, daily. Please, if you're watching this video, like, share, subscribe to my YouTube, subscribe to anything we got going on, because we're going up. You know, we're going up. We're going up. We're going up. Get grandfathered in. Let's get the course and let's go.
And for those of you on Instagram and on this Instagram feed, DM me Wholesale now to take advantage of that 50% off discount. And we might even throw in some extra free shit, you know, if we feeling generous, because it is the holidays. We do give back. That's one thing about Top Tier. My brother and I, we always, you know, give back to the community and help where we can, right? And so this is our way of giving back. And so you might get some extra added bonuses along with that course purchase. But DM me Wholesale now or comment Wholesale now. And let's get you started on your journey so that 2024 is the best year you ever had in your life financially. And this business will be the vehicle that takes you there. So we're going to wrap it up there. I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your night. Enjoy your Christmas. I look forward to working with a bunch of you. And we'll see you at the closing table.
Yes, sir.
Peace.